Hi and welcome to Puzzle Book Compiler version 3.0. My name's Ron Pumfleet. Sorry Macs, but this is for PCs only. Got the Mac version coming out shortly. Compiling KDP ready books from any PNG or JPEG image with Puzzle Book Compiler is super easy and fast. Listen, it's just a few clicks and you're done. So what can you do with it? Well, you can create book sizes of 5 by 8, 6 by 9, 8 by 10, 8.5 by 11. We supply you the templates for those. You can resize your images and reposition them, because when I'm doing the templates up, I'm actually resizing them and repositioning them so they look good in the template for my computer. So your images might be bigger or they might be smaller, so this is why we've added the resize and repositioning of the images. Now what can you compile? Any PNG or JPEG puzzle and solution you have on your hard drive, or you get from any other source, whether it's another online service that provides them for you, or you just got them cluttering your hard drive. And you can use those to create your puzzle books, cryptograms, crosswords, word searches, maze books, word scramble, and that's just scratching the surface. So without further ado, let's get into the software so I can explain to you what the dashboard's all about. Okay, so just before we go through and show you how the Puzzle Book Compiler works, I have to make this little, well, it's a tiny disclaimer. Well, not tiny, but people are getting confused that my compiler will actually generate these puzzles by clicking the compile puzzle book. No, you need to have these images, PNG or JPEG, already on your computer. Right, from you've created them, or you've got another source that you've got them from, but they must be on your computer, and they must be in a puzzle folder and a solutions folder. Okay, so this software is just that. It compiles any type of image, as long as it's PNG or JPEG, any type of puzzle is what I actually meant to say, into a PowerPoint template that you can then further customize should you wish, and then turn it into a PDF and go sell it on Etsy, on Razzle Dazzle, I don't know, I don't know who it is, Amazon, Lulu, or even from your own website, as I do. Okay, off my soapbox. I'm having trouble with my teeth. Anyway, so if you're brand new to using this software, you start off with book number 1, and I will show you the advantage of using this system for creating a series. Like I always create 10,000 puzzles and solutions when I'm using crossword, in no matter whatever the puzzle I'm doing, so that when I have this set up, I can go in there and I can change the book number, which then changes the first and last image. So I can actually guarantee my clients, especially on Amazon, that they will never ever end up using the same images should I put out a different type of cover or a slightly different size Sudoku book. So my initial launch, I always go from book number 1 to 5. That's my series. If I do any more in that same niche, then I will change the next book to be number 6. So I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit, but I'm explaining to you how to use this, and then I'll show you exactly how it works. Okay, so we'll leave it on number 1. Here you can have from anywhere from 30 to 1,500 puzzles, and be careful about doing books that size. Even if you do these, okay, so let's show you. Even if you do them 6 up, which I don't recommend because it makes it very, very hard to read, and you get all sorts of complaints from people on Amazon, the puzzle too small, blah, 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 blah. Although even in my 8.5 by 11 books, I do make them so they're still large and there's a little bit more room around there than most people, because I just do that. I can have a look at it, and the opposition's book. You go, well, I can put more room in between those 4 or 6 puzzles, and it still comes out looking really good. Yeah. If you do 1,500 puzzles, it's going to be a book size of 505 pages. So unless you actually advise your clients to crack the spine, because they're not spiral, they're glued. The back of the book is actually glued, so you can actually break the spine. Hold a sec. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about. This is an 8.5. This is one of my very early puzzle books. It's got 200 puzzles in there, and it has a hard spine. Now when you open these to work in them, it's not too bad. This has 6 up on the page, so there's still a lot of room in there. I can't see what I'm doing. Alright, so there's still a bit of room in there, but you can see that it's not going to lie flat. So what I suggest you tell your clients is what I do, because I'm out of the printing trade myself, is you get them to squeeze the spine back, alright, and just pinch them. Now, when they put that on the table, it lies flat. Alright, and it's really, really good to use, especially if you're sitting in a lounge chair and you got a tabletop or something like that, and you can just, or a laptop, and you just place that on top and away you go. So I wasn't expecting to actually go through and do that little demo for you, but just to show you there are different ways of skinning the proverbial cat, as they say, and if you don't like cats being skinned, then I apologize for the metaphor. Okay, so now we go back to 30. We've talked about the puzzles per page and the answers per page. So if you're doing smaller books, my recommendation is only 1 or 2 puzzles on the 5x8 and the 6x9, and then you can use up to 6 answers on those. That's quite fine. Then you can select here whether you got PNG or JPEG. You can't combine the two, but you can have one or the other. Now this tells you on 30 puzzles, 6 per page for the puzzles and the answers, your book size is going to be 15 pages. Now that could be quite good for doing Etsy or just doing a demo, to collect leads and that sort of thing. But if you actually change this back to 2, then it's 24 pages is the minimum through KDP, so now you can start publishing these in KDP if you just want to be the odd bod and only do real short books. You won't be charging as much, but I don't know whether you sell very many, but there's an idea for you to run with. Okay, so the puzzle path must be the physical path to your puzzle images, and the same with the solutions. The PowerPoint path is the path to your PowerPoint template, not the PowerPoint exe, okay? So if I was doing this real time, I would go into my E drive and go down to puzzles. See, I've got it set up for level 17. We'll use the level 17 puzzles. And I've already got the solutions in there, but when you click on that, it actually takes you back to the same folder where your solutions are, which is really good. Now we've got to go and get the template that we're going to use. And I know I've got this all set up before, but there's nothing wrong in showing you exactly how you've got to do your navigating. I've got them on PVC3 and the new templates, and then that's the one I want to use, 8.5 by 11, so I select OK. So now down here we have all the Sudoku puzzles, so we make sure that the puzzle type is, we've selected a Sudoku. If you change these, the compiler is not going to turn around and create a word search puzzles for you. All this does here is put the actual name on the printed template or on the slide, so when you print it out it has Sudoku number 1, Sudoku number 2, Sudoku whatever. So if you're going to use a word search, then you must have word search puzzles in the puzzle and solutions path, okay? This is just a real easy way of making sure that It keeps it in your mind, oh, we've got all these other puzzles I can do. And I've actually added a few extras where you can do maze, cryptogram, word search, word scramble, crosswords, anagrams, acrostic, and what's that one? Word matches. So if there's any other type of puzzle that you're using, and I haven't got it listed there, and you'd like me to have it listed in a future update, just PM me in the Facebook group and I'll add it for you. Okay, so that's the puzzle type. Now we go into the difficulties, and this is where I've been going through and probably 40, maybe 50 other books on Amazon, especially in Sudoku. And the most common complaint for why people only get 2 and 3 reviews is they don't know what they're doing as far as giving a difficulty level. Okay, so should you be using the puzzle Crossword Express software, he actually has all his puzzles, for generating in difficulty levels. So it's level 1 to level 17. I think he's got an 18 and 19, but I've never been able to produce those. Maybe my computer's too old and too slow. So whenever I do puzzles now, I always name them inside the puzzle that it's level 4 or level 17 or level 3 or whatever. I very rarely use beginner, easy, medium, hard, extreme, and diabolical anymore, because if I did that using the Crossword Express software, I don't really know what these levels are. All I know is level 17 is the hardest to level 1. But so you could probably get away with saying diabolical. But what if there was level 18 and 19 are diabolicals and level 17 is only extreme? I have no way of knowing. I'm not the developer, so I'd far rather play the game safe and use his levels. So I didn't mean that to be turn out to be a pep talk, but you're far better to be aware of that when you're using the software than try and guess what the difficulty levels are. Now the last one in here is the slides after the answers. In the version 2.2.75, I actually hard-coded the extra slides at the end of the book. After the last solutions slide, I hard-coded it as having 5 extra slides, and then I found that to be really clunky. And so a few of my users, they said, we love the idea of having the 7 there, but what if we don't want to use 7? What if we only want to use 2? Sometimes we've forgotten to, especially me, I think to myself, I only want 2 of those, but I've still gone ahead, created the PDF, uploaded the KDP, and then, I've gone and used 5, so there's going to be totally 3 stupid blank pages. So this is what I've done. I didn't mean to hit myself so hard on the head. So now you can select 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 is the default. So if that's not selected at 1 when you start using the software and you only want 1, well, just use the drop box and make sure you select it. Okay? Now let's get into the good fun. Compile the puzzle book. And up she comes. Generally when I start talking, this thing actually finishes before I get there, which it's already done now. Alright, so let's finish now. So there's the 1 page after the last solution slide. So if we go up to the top here, this is a template that you received, so you need to customize that to whatever puzzle you're using. This section in here you can probably either add or to or whatever you want. In the bottom part, make sure that you don't print this with your pen name, unless your pen name is your pen name. You change that to whatever it is. Mine's Scubum, which is my book's backwards. Now the second page is all about your table of contents. This is all about the puzzle. I left this as a big gap in here because on mine I've got a small guarantee in there just saying that if they buy any other Scubum books, puzzle books, that doesn't matter what puzzle it is, they won't buy a book with a duplicate puzzle in it. So it doesn't matter whether they order book number 1 or book number 24 in that series, they just won't get the same puzzle being repeated in any of those books, and I'll show you the reason why. Un momento, that is. Okay, so this is where on this one here. Okay, so I did a boo-boo. I didn't swap out word search back to Sudoku. Just as well, this is a demo, so I'll show you how to fix that in a moment. And then that's where the as we get down, so we have the divider, and then we go into the answer section. And then, of course, that's the one page afterwards. Now, what you need to be very careful of too is in the contents page here. See, this is only the dividers on page 18, answer starter number 19, and more puzzles by Scubum on page 24, which is the blank one. So if you're going to go and create a book of 120, you need to make sure that you run your book first, get those page numbers, save it in the template, and then rerun your book, to whatever pages it is that you're having. Okay, so that's it for this one. I'm going to close out and change that. Now I'm going to go back and make sure that I change this back to Sudoku. Right. So as I was saying before, and I was getting on the soapbox a bit, now that I've got so many puzzles that I've created, I can very easily go through and go book number 2. Click the button. It's going to create the puzzles. This is going to blink when it's finished. I'm not going to bother by bringing the PowerPoint slide up. It doesn't take that. Okay, so I've gone and actually installed the proper software, so I can actually show you the advantage of actually saving this as your working template later. So what you do here is click on save, and it'll come up as you've got print or save or export. Just click on save. It's going to ask you, well, what do you want to save it as? So you'd navigate to where you're saving all your printables for your business. So I'm going to go back into low content resources and go back to PBC3, and I'm going to click on, no, that's for my templates, so we don't want to go in there. So I might just save it here, and what I'll do is this, I'm just going to save this Sudoku dash BK5. So I know, okay, this is Sudoku, book 5, and let's say LV 17, right? So that's the puzzle. That's where you finished off the number of books, and you're in level 17. So if we save all that, now I'm going to dismiss that. Then I'm going to go back to my desktop, and I'm going to find it. No, I'm not. Yes, I am. I've got a lot of stuff there. So we're going to go do the other shortcut, which is through your start menu. I'm going to go to all apps, and there it is there, Puzzle Book Compiler. Well, you can't see it, but anyway, I'm going to click on that. Get rid of this messy desktop, and so you can see it's opening up, and then it has choose save, last save, or original workbook. So see, I want to go back to one of the books or one of the templates. I click on last save. If that is the one that I want to open, the very last save, it'll bring this up very shortly. It'll have all the information pre-populated for you. It might help if I click the button down the bottom there. Okay, so there we are. We're all back to where we are. Okay, this is on book 1, so let's just pretend that was book 5. And what are we doing here? Oh yeah, so the book size is 65 pages here, only because we've got to redo the, we actually had the setting at 2 and 6, so that's the only thing we've got to remember to redo is the answers the puzzles and the answers for some reason that didn't stick. So I'll look into that. Okay, so, right, and then you do some more. You might get up to, book 10 and you want to save it again. So that's fine. We're just going to save. And this time we can just do straight save. And when this comes up, we can just check over top of that. Yep, that's the one we want to save. I'm going to do this again. I'm going to save this as a different one again, only just to show you the beauty of this. So let's say this is going to be book 10. So you can save all of them as templates if you like. So this is book 10. I'm going to close out of it. I'm going to bring the software up again. And now this time, instead of opening on the last save, so we're just waiting for it to open up again. And then, so you've got last save or choose save. So in this case, I want to choose from the ones that I've saved. So this is going to bring up the the folder where I've got these two saved in. So I can either click on the 5-book one to carry on, or just to see what I did, or I can click on the 10-book and carry on doing more. So the real exciting part of this software, in my mind, is that we can use this to choose whatever it is we're saving. So if you've, like I've only just showed you how to save from Sudoku. So what if you wanted to save all the puzzles that you made, whether it be Sudoku or Filosiki or Kendoko or Tatami or whatever, you can save all those as a template and then reopen it. Okay, so I'm just going to go back to opening up the natural workbook, and it should, in theory, be empty. It should be, in theory, blank, which it is. So this allows you to start doing whatever you want to do with other puzzles. Alright, so I hope you've learned a trick or two in using this software. All I can say is there's a auto button down there. Click on it. I look forward to working with you in the members area. And if you do have any challenges, just PM me. You're going to be joining the Facebook group to learn how to use the Crossword Express software. So, as I say, if you have any challenges, just get hold of me. Or log into your members area and click the help desk button, and I will get to it ASAP, if not sooner. Alright, well, thank you very much for watching and listening to this video. My name's Ron Conflict, and I'm out of here. Catch you later. Bye for now.